I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
That's a really good song. Thank you, Jennifer, for that choice. Good morning, Unity of Payson. Good morning. Okay, now do better on this one. Happy New Year, Unity of Payson. Almost. So, as we gather this morning, it's a momentous time, right on the cusp between the old year and the new year. And we're going to celebrate that in some unique ways this morning. But as we gather, we'll just take a moment to be quiet and to celebrate the truth that we heard in that gathering song, I am light. God of all goodness, we are grateful that we're none of those things spoken about in this song, not our mistakes, not what happened to us in the past, not the old story, but a new one. We are truly an expression of the divine, that divine is within us and empowers us as we become aware of it and as we give our intention and our attention to that divine expression that we are. So I'm grateful for each one who has joined us here this morning as we think together, as we review some of the past together, and as we look forward to a new year, a new story. We are grateful, and so it is. So we have an opening song this morning, which is one of our favorites. Thank you for this day. If you're here with us in person, feel free to stand and shake a tambourine if you've got one. There's another one up here if you really need it. We'll enjoy this as we sing together one of our favorites.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
With me, both for those of us that are gathered here together and gathered online, but even those who yet will be with us as we look into the new year. So we say together, we love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. So it's time for gratitudes. And somebody has to, well, we have to have a lot of gratitudes here this morning because it's just off of the time when if you are together with family. If you're with us online, please feel free to put something in the chat about your gratitude to let us know. And if you're here in person, do we have, I think we've got a mic here. I'll pass it out and then you all can pass it along. So who has a gratitude to share? Who's first? Sue, right here.
I am grateful because we had our whole family here this Christmas time. We had 3 children and then all the grandchildren and the spouses and things. So it was a crazy time, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm so grateful for them.
Betty's behind you, and Jennifer's back there too. I see hands going up.
Yeah, this is Betty, and like Sue, I was blessed with a big family gathering for Christmas. And of course, baby Jackson was there, and he had an awesome time ripping paper off all the packages. Took him a while to realize that there was something in there other than just tearing it apart. So just grateful for family.
And I am grateful for our wonderful AV team, for Tom for keeping everything running and running pretty smoothly despite all of our internet challenges, and for Terry, who is very patient with me every Thursday when I send songs, and sometimes I don't get them in Thursday, and also who puts in some really wonderful music into the hopper there that we've got on our OneDrive. Including that one song that you heard this morning. That was one that she brought in, and I just love it. I think it's beautiful. So thank you.
Who's next? I see Rick going for the mic.
I'm just thankful for all of you, but especially Terry and Tom, because we got the AV perfectly. I'm monitoring it online. Everybody's got sound. It sounds terrific. So congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anybody else? Don't want to leave anybody out?
Don't want me to have this too long.
We'll give you your chance, Rick, in a little bit. So, Tom, can you see or can you put up let's go ahead and put them up. Put up the chat. So I think there are a couple of comments in the chat. It was a wonderful year, says Ed. Thank you, Ed, for that gratitude. And we also appreciate all of you who support Unity of Payson with your time, with your talent, and with your treasure. Obviously, it wouldn't happen without you. And so we're grateful to have you here, those of you in person, and those of you who are with us online as well. Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer, and we take that seriously, and we have prayer chaplains in the house today. Sue and Betty are here, and these prayer chaplains will be glad to pray with you in person or on the phone. If you want that in person, just tap them on the shoulder today if you have a prayer request that you'd like to share with them. If you're online, let us know. You can send an email to me, neil.unityofpayson@gmail.com, and I'll pass that along to the prayer chaplains. And I also, if you would like one of the prayer chaplains to contact you so that they can pray with you directly, please include your contact information so that we may get back to you. It's a wonderful experience when we meet together as prayer chaplains. I'm an honorary prayer chaplain. I just can't tell you how there's something in that's very powerful in our meeting together and holding up those who have requested prayer. Not to say, God, would you give us this or give us that, but to affirm the truth that all is well, that we're created perfectly. So take advantage of those prayer chaplains. And now we move on to Unity of Payson's theme for this month of December. We still have, as you see, the Advent candles lit. It has been Advent for this time. Today is going to be a little different because today we will have two of our own as the speakers today. I get a break. But we'll also have the burning bowl ceremony later, and that's something that you'll be able to participate if you're in online and if you're here as well. A time of working with that cusp of the old year going out and the new year coming in and the new us, the perfect us, the remembered us that we will express in this new year. So we would normally have, I'll just say again the affirmation that we've had. I make way for hope, peace, joy, and love to emerge in my life. And I hope that's been the case for you in this month of December. Metaphysical moment, we often read something that is inspiring to us, but since I am getting to make some choices here, I decided to just remind us of a few metaphysical truths that we can carry with us always, and that give us a leg up on saying goodbye to those things that aren't serving us anymore, and looking forward to the future, looking forward to being more than ever who we really are, an expression of the divine in the world. So these truths that I think about, you've heard from me many times, but the first one is all things do work together for good. Regardless of what it seems like, what it seems to be evident in our physical world, there's so much more to it than that. And we know that if we're a little bit patient, we may even see that in retrospect, how something that we thought was really problematic is for us now a truth that we live. So did we lose?
I want those two. I put them in the wrong spot.
Okay, now don't.
Very full one.
So we're still working on the challenges. We have moved from the PC world to the Mac world, the Apple world, which allows us to do some of the things we couldn't do before, but we're still learning. All things work together for good, even technology that challenges us. Another truth is that we, as expressions of the divine, are people of choice. We have choice. We have control, not of everybody else, but of our own life and our own expression in the world. And it's based on those choices that we rise up in consciousness, as we can make those choices that reflect the Christ within us, we rise up. So we have choice. It's a powerful thing to have choice. Then we also use two things in our metaphysical understanding that are very helpful to us. And we talk about the one a lot, but not so much the other one. And today we're going to focus on the other one, and that's denials, sometimes called renunciation, sometimes called release. These denials say that whatever it is that may be difficult for me, whatever it is that may be challenging me, that has no power over me. Did you get that? That has no power over me. So we take that which is untrue but appearing to be true, and we turn aside. We deny that and deny any power that truth may have over it. And as we go through the burning bowl ceremony today, that will be an expression of denial turning to affirmation. We don't hang around with the denials too long, but we go on to our affirmations, and we talk about this all the time. Statements that affirm the truth as we know it, the truth that tugs at our hearts. Those statements are affirmations. They can be very simple, and we'll use some simple ones today. I am. We know that we are gifted with many gifts. The 12 powers that we talk about often have 12 of those gifts that are inherently ours. And so we affirm those things. And so we may say, I am wisdom. I am strength. I am imagination. I am life. And all of the other ones. affirming the truth that we know. Sometimes we sort of know that it's there, but we haven't quite incorporated it into our lives fully. We say that affirmation when it tugs at us to help us seat that firmly within our consciousness. So that's what I wanted to talk about, just some of those truths today. And we are grateful for those truths that allow us to live a life full of promise, full of hope, full of all good things, a life that lives in the present moment. So today we have the opportunity to listen to some of our members, and particularly we're going to listen to two of our board members who are leaving the board in a week or so. Tom Cork has been our president for 3 years, Tom?
Yes.
For 3 years. Rick has been president in the past. He's been treasurer. Is there anything you haven't done? No, you haven't been secretary. I know you haven't done that. But both of them are going to share some of their thoughts as they leave the board, as they affirm what their experience at Unity of Payson has been that has helped them on their spiritual path. So I'm going to give it to Tom first, and then right after Tom, we'll give it to Rick.
Well, this is different. Usually I'm hiding behind the screen. So yes, this is, I've been on the board 4 years, and it's all Rick's fault, so. Yeah, so does other things, but yeah. All right, so here we go. So God is God, neither male nor female, without anger or jealousy, without form, more often ambiguous than distinct. Whether this is because of free will or by design, it can be a bit frustrating. Often I've asked God, can you at least point me in the right direction? And sometimes there's an answer, but more often there's not. It's just silence. And in the silence, I wonder. I wonder about God and the ability to see all the possible outcomes at once and to know which one is the right one. I wonder if God's listening or if God is there. Does heaven and hell exist, and why? Is it pearly gates and clouds? Is hell a fiery wasteland or one that's frozen? I've seen both. I choose to believe there is a God and that God knows this world we live in. I have no proof of existence, yet I take comfort in that belief that we're not alone in this path and that there is some divinity in our struggles. I have learned to listen to the soft voice in my head that tells me to turn left and not go straight ahead, and I just have become to do it. Many times my wife would ask me, why'd I turn? And I said, the voice told me to. And then she stopped one day because she was hearing the voice too. Because it's my path, I've learned to learn not to question it so much. It was always the easy way or the hard way. And if you did the hard way, eventually you were circled around back to the easy way. So, and I'm certainly not a one-trial learner. So 6 years ago, I came to Unity. It'll be 6 years next week. And to hear Lynette Brower speak. And she'd been a student of mine along with Betty and at the college, and I really wanted to listen to her. So I hadn't been to church in years and had quite a grudge against organized religion. It was her last day to speak, so at least I got to hear her once. My work schedule for a while kept me on Sundays, so I didn't have a very constant attendance record for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And eventually I was able to come more often. I still struggled with myself and my grudge, and still I continued. The voice said, just do it. When I was asked to be part of the AV program, I joined, and soon, Rick's fault, I was on the board. It was a difficult choice to accept the nomination, but the voice said do it. That year, we faced falling revenues and COVID, We moved from Easy Street to Bonanza Square to online services only. Each change came with its own set of problems or difficulties. The board meetings were quite long and at times contentious. Still, we worked through the problems and the challenges. As COVID wore on, I was concerned that the church would not survive here. And then one day, Rick came to me with a proposition. Again, Rick. He wanted me to become board president to release him from that position. I agonized over that decision as it was putting me somewhere that I had never wished to be. And the questions, what am I? Do I have the skills for this job? More so, do I have the will to see it through? I didn't want to influence the board with my non-traditional concepts of religion. And the voice was silent, so I measured each choice with what was best for the church at that moment in time, and I looked ahead to the longer view of what was best. Often it wasn't the choice I preferred. Now it's time to step down from the position and away from the board. It was wise of our creators of our bylaws to set time limits for members of the board. Those who step away can rejuvenate themselves and gain a new perspective for the church and its future. And the board gains new perspective from incoming members. I've learned a lot about myself in those 4 years on the board. I still have the questions I came to Unity with. I'm still looking for those answers. But I have friends on the same path with similar questions, and I'm never alone. Frank Herbert, who wrote the Dune series, had a mantra called the Litany of Fear, and I'm going to quote it here. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. In our world today, it would seem that there is only chaos and fear, but that really isn't the whole truth. It's the struggle between what is and what will be. We hold tight to that which is familiar and fear that which is not. Mankind stands at the edge of a new beginning of what is yet to materialize. The struggle will go on for some time as we hold very tightly to what we have. But change we must, as God itself is change, and we must follow. So to close, to the end of the mantra, I would add, I do not stand alone, and to you, let go and let God.
Always following Tom. It's really hard.
Cleaning up my messes, yeah.
He's so, I can't even say hello in 6 minutes, let alone try to do this whole thing. I don't know. Anyway, if you would please, there we go, up in the upper right-hand corner. So what have I learned from board service? Well, a lot of what Tom said about the questions are still here, but the big difference is this Unity family doesn't tell me how to believe. It's open. It's up to me. It's your support is here. I was on the board here for 6 years. Great church, wonderful people, no question about it. But it is still a traditional belief system. And if that works for you, terrific. If it helps you make a better person, that's wonderful. It just isn't me. Me is you. That's where we are, okay? So the second piece is, what does it take to thrive? Tom talked about the various buildings we were through together. We hired this guy, I don't know, it was the whatever. And a terrific choice down the line. He knows where we are on him. And then, you know, the moves back and forth that Tom talked about, ups and downs. And yes, the board members' meetings were contentious, unfortunately, is the middle of the political issue. And some folks went this way and some folks went that. It has nothing to do with Unity, but it did at that particular time. So we couldn't help that. And clearly change is part of life. And I'm going to try to remember and not skip anybody in a minute, but we've got folks that were here when we started, and there's some wonderful new faces here as well, and we want to acknowledge that. So next is, we are not alone anymore. That's why we're here, both online and in person. And so to the veterans, shall we say, of the past, Tom and Betty and June and Terry and Teresa and Marianne and Donna and Jennifer and Kathy, and I know I missed somebody and I apologize for that. And then we've got Sue and Charlotte and Ed and Rom and Claudette and Scott and Pam and Debbie and others that are newer, but we're still not alone. We are together. And so this is one of my favorite pictures up here. I steal these off of sci-fi stuff that I got. But yeah, can we go to the one with that's kind of goldish? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Can you see the hand? Isn't that powerful? Wow. Yeah. And that's the way I feel about us. And we talk, Betty walks us through at the end of the movements. We are, in fact, in my mind, what God is together. And that hand is just as much us as well as us being in the hand, right? So that's where we're at. And this is cool. The next one is cool because, believe it or not, scientists, not theologians, are saying to us, we are literally built out of some of the stardust that was formed 15.7 billion years ago. That explosion of goodies is everywhere, and a little bit of that is in each of us. And so we need to celebrate that in ourselves, and we need to celebrate that in each other and see that every time we see each other out the other end. Okay, so next, if you would, sir. We are, in fact, the other thing we need to celebrate is there's never been another Betty or Kathy or Scott or whatever, never been. And there never will be another one. So we need to celebrate that individually and collectively. And to me, that calls us to service, to share those unique gifts. So there. And speaking of that, if you would be so kind, sir, this is us, chickens, hens and roosters, I guess. I don't know. I had turkey for Thanksgiving, so I don't know about that. Anyway, but we are truly love in action. Many of you serve in the community outside of this team, outside of this group. We are in service to each other, prayer chaplains. We keep unity going, board members, greeters, your financial support, music. All of these things are necessary to bring Sunday and the rest of our community together. So I'm encouraging us all to be that, to be those supporters. Figure out a place where you can contribute your spirit, your help, your money, whatever it takes to do that. And in that spirit, in the back, we have new badges, and they say we are love in action. They're here. And there's also back there, if you like, the little yellow kindness works, which is kind of, as Sue and others here know, kind of developed out of us, out of here. We don't take credit for it in the public because we don't want to get into the, well, that's them, and not, what just makes so much sense, right? How can we not honor each other? Oh, and there is one thing, however, I do have a bone to pick with this whole board thing, and that is unity doesn't celebrate communion in the traditional sense of things, right? I've been trying to get the board to have margaritas for our own community, you know, it's our separate thing. I'm got nowhere with that over the 5 years, so I quit. That's it.
Thank you, Tom and Rick. And you did pretty good at 6 minutes. I'm impressed. So I want to just recap a couple of things that I highlight them. I really appreciated, Tom, the way you developed the fact that we're all still developing, evolving. We're all still learning. We all still have questions. That's part of the spirit of unity. And as we grow, yeah, maybe we get an answer here and an answer there, but we still have that quest. Thank you very much for that. And Rick, your emphasis on I am love in action. So we're talking today about what we're letting go, but we're turning also to what is an affirmation of who we are. And I love that. I am love in action. And we'll see that a little bit later. Let me just say a couple of things as we prepare to move into our service. Let's see if I can find oh, there's my notes. Prepare to move into the service of the burning bowl. We're not burning anything today, so we've substituted a bowl in which we can dissolve that which we're letting go. But you'll get there. At some point, we're going to pass out some things for you. If you're with us here virtually, take an opportunity, not yet, Rick, but if you're with us virtually, take an opportunity to find a piece of paper, maybe 2 pieces of paper, because you can participate in that way, even though we can't hand you something in person. The burning bowl ceremony is something that's flourished in many more places than just Unity, but Unity has kind of adopted it. It's an opportunity at the end of the year or the very beginning of the new year to say, let's review. Let's take a look at our life. What is there in our life that is something that doesn't speed us forward, that doesn't lift us higher? What is it that we're touched to let go as we leave an old year and approach a new? Sometimes we hang on so tightly. Which one of you said because it's comfortable? Did you say that, Tom? Somebody said something. Familiar. We do things sometimes because they're familiar. We may have inherited them decades ago, and we're just still working with them. And they're familiar, and we have comfort with them, but they don't raise us up. So we're going to look at some of those things today. We sometimes have many things that weigh us down, burdens, if you will. Yesterday at Saturday Soul Boost, I put a little cartoon there that had a fellow with a huge ball of burdens on his back. The question, of course, is why would one want to keep those? But sometimes we do. And today is an opportunity for us to intend that that burden will be light. And we're going to release some things as a result of that. This grasping that we do for whatever it is that's impeding us from moving forward. I was reading a book by Eric Butterworth, one of our great Unity writers, my favorite, and he used a couple of illustrations. One of them was a project in, I believe, Africa, where there was the need to capture monkeys. And to capture monkeys, this is what they did. They made a very heavy bottle with a narrow neck, just a wide enough neck that the monkey could slip its hand into the bottle.
You're bending your neck.
Put some really aromatic and tasty nuts in the bottle, and left the bottles in the area where they wanted to capture the monkeys. Went home, had a good night's sleep. Came back and they found that all the monkeys were, as it were, tethered to their heavy bottle. And you know why? They had reached into that bottle. They had grasped that nut, that tasty nut. And when they went to remove their hand, they wouldn't let go. They wouldn't let go of that nut. So in not letting go, they lost freedom. It was part of an experiment, so they weren't treated badly, but that gives us the idea. Sometimes we hold on to something so tightly that we lose our freedom, that we lose our sense of curiosity, that we lose our sense of purpose. Another illustration similar to that, during the Revolutionary War, when the British were threatening, colonists looked to find out how they could get safety for themselves, how they could be safe. And one of those colonists got a boat. He lived on a river. He said, I'll be safe because when the British come, I'll hop in that boat and I'll row away. I'll be safe. Well, the call came, the British are coming, and he did, in the middle of the night, run down to that boat and hopped in the boat and began to row furiously. After rowing all night, as the dawn broke, he found out he was in exactly the same place as he had started, because he had forgot to unmoor the boat. It was still tied up. This is where we sometimes get stuck, and this is what today we want to work with. We're going to talk about things like habits. What there is, what habit, maybe a pattern that we've had in lifelong. We'll talk about relationships for which we have set no boundaries, or in which we have set no boundaries. Relationships that sometimes are toxic to us. They're making us sick. These are ripe for letting go. We'll talk about grievances, things that we've held against somebody else for a long time. They hold us back. They keep us, as it were, in chains. We are not free. I liked that mantra about fear. Fears hold us back. Fears of a myriad number of things hold us back. And today we let them go. And judgments. So easy to jump on the judgment podium when we see something we don't like, when we see somebody we don't like, when something seems to offend us, we judge. It's those judgments, when we hold on to them, that keep us tethered, keep us moored, and we go no place. So today, we do that. What we're going to do is kind of add our burning bowl service to the meditation. We'll put them together so that we can get into the silence. Rick, you mentioned the silence. Get into that silent place where we can know something that we might not ordinarily know, something that's intuitive, that small voice that you were talking about, that you hear. So we will do that, and then we'll move into the actual ceremony of the burning bowl. After the meditation, we're going to give something out to those who are here in person, and have your paper and pencil handy, those of you who are with us virtually online. But let's take a moment now to just breathe, to be quiet, to go into the silence. When you found that quiet place, relish it and realize that it's a place of nurture for you. It's a place of sustenance. It's a place of knowing, of wisdom. So settle in that silent place, listening for that still, small voice. And as you're with me in that silent place, let us all take a moment to review our life. Our life in this last year, this last decade, the last how many ever years, all the way back to your childhood. Just review that. Oh, there's some wonderful high spots. But there's some places where you're stuck, where life is difficult and burdensome. Allow them to come to the surface and face them directly, whatever fear you may have. What are those things for you that impeded you, that stopped you, that kept you stuck? Set those on the side for a moment, acknowledging them and knowing that you have choice not to let them rule in your life any longer. Go back to that silent place, and of the things that came up for you, listen carefully. What is yours to let go of at this time, in this moment, in this end of year time, as we look forward to a new and a different year, not the old story, but a new one. Let that one or two things that came up in your consciousness be those things that you recognize are yours to release at this time. Do you have it? Rick, Betty, whoever's passing out, let us pass out to everyone here in person. And if you're here with us virtually, get that paper and pencil ready. You're going to have a little card that's folded if you're here in person. And you're going to have another very flimsy piece of paper inside that card. Rick is here at the front. That little thin piece of paper. Remember on one side of your card it says, as 2023 comes to a close, I release and let go of the past. What is that what are those things, or one or two things that came to you, that still small voice that said, this is yours, this is your work right now, this is what's there for you to release. Put it on that thin piece of paper. Mark it on the other one if you like as well, so you remember. And then in this quiet moment, there's no rush. Write that on your paper. I'll begin by going to the dissolving bowl, not the burning bowl, first. And you do it as you're led. If you want to continue to spend a little time in the quiet, do that. I'm going to read a few things while you're coming. But take that which is yours to do, yours to release, and come release it so that it dissolves. It is no more for you. I'll begin and follow as you are led. I lay my burdens down. I release and I let go. What I release has no power over me. I release and I let go. There is nothing to fear. I release and I let go. I remember who I am. I release and I let go. I am transformed by the renewing of my mind. I release and I let go. I am still and I know. I release and I let go. In this present moment, I release and I let go. I claim the peace that passes understanding. I release and I let go. All things work together for good. I release and I let go. I am light. I release and let go to be that light. I am love, love in action perhaps, and I release that I may be that love. I am power. I release my weakness and let go. I have released. I have let go. If you're with us virtually, what you wrote on that one piece of paper or on the paper, though you're not here to put it in a dissolving bowl, perhaps you can burn it in the fireplace, bury it in the backyard. Some way of making it in the past and leaving it in the past. So now we begin to turn to the affirmation we've been working with: releasing, denying, letting go. On the card I've handed out, there is 2 words on one side: I am. Tom, if we can go on to, just skip the one next slide and go on to the final one of mine. Some of these things are the 12 powers, spiritual attributes. These are other divine attributes. Pick one. Kind of the other side of what you've just let go. And affirm that. If it's a relationship, you might choose love. It's a difficult situation, you might choose peace. If it's a puzzling situation, you might choose understanding, or any of those, or another divine attribute. That's just kind of the flip side of what is your work in letting go. Choose that one word and write that on your card. And if you're with us virtually, write I am and then blank. You fill in the blank. Take that home with you. It's a card. You can kind of stand it up where you can see it easily, or tack it to a bulletin board. And this week I challenge you to work with that card and that divine attribute that you're claiming, because it is in your nature. For me, it's wisdom. I am wisdom. And for you, each of you as a unique creature, as Rick told us, in our uniqueness, it's going to be a little different for us right now. So write that divine attribute on the card and live with it this week. Next week, we're going to have a white stone ceremony, another ceremony, 2 in a row. And that's going to take that basic affirmation that we want and move it on, move it even forward more. But for this week, just sit with that one simple affirmation, claiming your divinity, claiming that which is in your nature to be. So as we now are forward-looking, I want to raise my hand in blessing for each of you, online, in person. Blessing on you who have intended to rise up, to move forward. Blessing on you who struggle a bit with letting something go. Blessing on you who are divine children, worthy of all of the heritage that the divine has to give. And so it is. Amen. For me, it's almost hard to come back from something like that. I love that quiet time. But we'll move on now with the rest of our service. Time for our tithes and offerings. Could be that your fear or your letting go was your grasp on possessions or money. Well, the flip side of that is generosity. As you give, you receive. And so we approach our giving in that way. We'll pass the basket here in person. And then for those of you who are online, there will be some slides that give you the information for giving. And Tom is doing that, going through that. And then we'll say our affirmation as we always do together. Are you ready? Freely we give, and freely we receive. And now the offertory song.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
So we appreciate the gifts that you have given. And if Rick can bring the basket forward, we'll have our offering dedication. Together we say, divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we give thanks. Amen. So next week, this is the beginning of a new month. There's a lot happening still next week, but next week our theme is going to be, and Terry, thank you for being patient with me on getting the themes to you. I know that, so Jennifer said thank you, and I'm saying thank you too. It's a little hard to say it, but I'm gonna read it through once, and then you can hopefully make it out as we say the affirmation together. The theme is vision, and together we say, I image my heart's desire, believe with eyes of faith, take the steps that are mine to take, and manifest my dream. Well, you did pretty good at getting it. So that's our theme for the month of January and the new year. Next Sunday speaker will be me. I kind of talked a little bit more than I should have today. I should have left it more to them. But I'm working. I'm letting go my proclivity to make the message go long. I really am. I'm working on it. So the topic for tomorrow will be, or for next week will be stir, awaken, arise. Again, the theme is vision. We go on for our upcoming events. Please take note of the Monday e-newsletter. And also you can get it at the website, unityofpayson.org, of all the activities that we have. But I want to highlight some. There will be a celebration of life for Suzanne Bishop. It's going to be hosted by Kay Adams on the 3rd. That's this Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Kay would like to know, and there's the number. If you don't have it, you can get it from me or a couple of other people. I'll probably have it too. And Kay's asking that if you have a memory of Suzanne, that you write it out. That you share it in person there, but that you write it out so that it can be put together in a book for Suzanne's son. Celebration of life for our dear sister, Suzanne. Always Saturday Soul Boost, 4 o'clock on Saturdays. I've grown to really enjoy that time. So I hope you will take opportunity to join us. I know it's sometimes on a busy Saturday, but if you can, drop in. We'll be happy to see you. And you'll have an opportunity for some feedback on the topic and the theme for the month and the day that's about to come up. And so we'll look forward to seeing you there. Next Sunday is not only the annual membership meeting, and that's on the slide as you see it. There'll be an election of officers. It's going to happen about 11:15. Yeah, we're getting to the end. I'll work on that 20 minutes next week. What, Rick's?
There is a small open spot on that list under Vice President.
Yes.
Yes. So if anyone here is motivated to give it a try, we'd love to have that.
Thank you, Rick. Indeed, we would. You'll see about the finances. You will elect our new officers, and they're listed there. Not a long meeting. But then, right after, I was talking with Reverend Michael here at Payson United Methodist Church, and he said, You weren't with us last month, and we just missed you a whole lot. Can't we do it this month? And I said, well, we probably can get through that annual meeting in time. So we're going to try it. We'll share our potluck with the Methodist Church. You can bring it to their kitchen when you arrive, or you can bring it later as you will. But we'll do our meeting, and then we'll go right on over. We won't have to wait at all. We'll go over to a potluck together after that. One other thing I want to mention, morning coffee has been changing, adjusting. And what we're going to try after feedback from the regular attenders is 2 times a week. And we will do that once in the week and once on Saturday. So once on Tuesday, once on Saturday, every week. Terry's shaking her head. She's got it right. I didn't get that to her yet. And it'll be 9:30. 9:30 seems to be the more agreed time for that. Tuesday and Saturday, morning cafe. If you haven't had a chance to do that as well, you'll enjoy it. It's a wonderful time. So we'll now close our service with our peace song. If we're here in person, let's circle up and as we sing, and then the prayer for protection as we end our service and go on with our day. If you're here with us virtually, stay for just a moment. I'd love to greet you again. And if you're here in person, there's goodies back there.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as Creator, family are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous thought. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And the prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being with us. Tom, if you can give me a gallery view, and we'll say hello to everybody. So I'm looking at TJ and Roni. Hi, TJ and Roni. It's great to have you here. Debbie and Charlotte, probably in the same house. Good to see you. My
Hello.
friend Kay Butler. Good to see you, Kay. I'm glad you're here. Sammy, we're glad that you're here as well. Sammy, in case somebody doesn't know, is Terry's mother. Donna, who's that? Oh, yes, I know who that is. Donna, I'm glad you're here. Frosty, our really faithful Frosty. And then Mary Ann. We had an opportunity to visit Mary Ann, so that was a great time in the past. So bless you all. And I see Bobby too. I didn't see a name, but I see Bobby too. Bobby, good to see you. Blessings, blessings. See you again soon.
I'm here. Bye.